students, good afternoon to you all. How are you doing? It's my pleasure being with you again today. And in today's class, we are looking at agricultural science for those in primary 5. And we're going to be looking at general requirements of livestock production. I told you that in agriculture we have so many terminologies that we use in agriculture, of which their other names are still very much simple and we can always know them. Now, livestock, let's not see it as something that is very difficult or something that we cannot be able to comprehend. Livestock means animal. So when we're talking about livestock production, we are simply talking about training of animals, all right? Now when we're defining agricultural science in our primary 4, we say that agriculture is the production of food, all right? The cultivation of crops and the rearing of animals. And since then, we've been talking about crop production, how to raise field crops, how to raise vegetable crops, how to raise ornamental crops, how to raise plantation crops, and so on and so forth. Today we're going to look at how we can raise animals, how we can rear animals, all right, and the things needed. Okay, back to the board. You see that apart from crop production, livestock production is another type of farming activity. Now, these are the two activities in agriculture that made up agricultural science. Now, when you're talking about agricultural science and you're not talking about rearing of animals and production of food, you're not talking about agriculture. Because agriculture as a whole, despite whatever we produce in agriculture, the first set of people in agriculture are crops and animals. Then from there, we now reproduce. Good. Now we want to look at reasons for livestock production. The reason why when you sit in your house, you say, I want to start rearing animals, I want to start producing livestock. Let us see the reasons, let us know why. The first reason is to keep animals alive. You can bear me witness, you can bear with me that when you see an animal that is kept outside, when you see an animal that is always out there alone, without anyone keeping it, you will see that their body is not like that of an animal that is secured or kept in a house. Now, when we are talking about livestock production, we have 3 ways of raising animals. We have 3 ways of rearing animals. The first way is intensive system. We have semi-intensive system and we have extensive system. Now, the intensive system is the process whereby your animals are reared inside. You're the one taking care of them. You build a house, you keep them in the house, you take care of them in the house, you give them the medication, you give them their food, you give them water, you give them lighting, and so forth. Okay? Whereby the semi-intensive is the act of you have a house for them, you're keeping them, you're giving them food, but at some point you still take them outside. Maybe in the morning you keep them outside, they get food from outside, they stay outside for like throughout the day, then you bring them in later in the evening. That is semi-intensive. While extensive is completely when you buy an animal and you leave the animal to walk around, look for food, buy some and feed on its own. So there are 3 different ways we can rear animals. But today we are particularly talking about the way you can rear animal intensively. Please, Sabina, and Maria Goretti, Juan Carlos, and who again? Please, I want you all to pay attention. Make sure that your notebook is close to you as you read and as you study with me. Now, back to what we were saying. We said that the first reason is to do what? To keep them alive. Alright? Now, the second reason is to make profit from the sale. To make profit from the sale of the animals. Now, when you sell your animals, definitely you expect nothing but profit. When I was teaching primary 6 last week, I told them that if you go to the farm, you make your ridge. First of all, you clear your land, you make your ridge, you make your bed, or you make your heap, depending on what you want to plant and how you want to plant it. After planting them, you weed, you apply fertilizer, you do everything that you want to do there. Now, after doing all this, at the end of the whole thing, you go back to your farm and harvest. After harvesting, you harvest small, you get small harvest from the farm. How will you feel? Seriously. Next day, they tell you, it's time for farm. Say, which farm? Put that farm yourself. Should be after planting cassava. Now, what I will get is one small cassava like that. I'm not going to plant anything this time. No? But when you go to the farm and you get big cassava like as big as Vicente, when you get big cassava like Vicente, you say, next time you'll be like, I want to go to the farm, I want to go and plant my farm. They're doing well, the land, they're growing well, things like that. But when you get one like Felipe, you say, no. I don't know if I'm communicating, I don't know if I'm correct. So, now, one of the reasons why you need to keep your animals is to do what? To make good sale from the animals. Now, when you train them, when you give them good food, give them good medication, and their body is they're growing very fast, looking very good. When you want to sell them, you will even be selling them with shakara, you'll be selling them with guy. They tell you, sinkomi. You say, no, kinsemi. When you say kinsemi, you cross your leg, you'll be doing your shoulder like this. It's sinkomi. It's kinsemi. If it's not kinsemi, I will not sell. Why? Because your animals are looking good. So you keep them, you raise them in order to make good sale out of them, to make benefit. Okay? Then the third reason is to supply us with food like meat, milk, and egg. Now we said the first one, what? Meat. Most of the meat that we eat out there, costillas. In the morning you tell your mother, Mommy, quiero gallina fuerte, quiero alitas, quiero. We mention it one by one. Quiero this one, quiero that one. All the meats are being produced or being gotten from animals. You cannot get them by the roadside. You cannot be walking along the road and say, let me take this plant so that I can get meat from it. No. So they are all produced or gotten from animals. So no matter the name you give to it, whether pork, whether gallina, whether costillas, all of them are gotten from animals. Now over to egg. Huevo, we know egg. In the morning you fry egg, you use it and drink your tea with bread, put it inside the bread, or you put it on top of your indomie, put it on top of it. Different ways. Sometimes you boil it, sometimes you roast it. You roast your egg. Even sometimes you can even boil, yeah. You can pound, you can poach your egg, depending on the way you want to eat your egg. Yeah, we have poached egg, and we have pounded egg, we have boiled egg, and we have fried egg. So it depends on how you want to do it, how you want to use it for the moment and for the meal. You see, right? So now when you're using your egg, you still have to remember that you got them from where? from the animal. You cannot tell your mother, "Mommy, I want to eat egg today." Your mother will say, You say, "Mommy, bring her egg now. Lay egg now so that I can eat." No. Your mother cannot lay egg for you. You see, your plant cannot lay egg for you. It can only be your animal. I don't know if I'm making sense. Then another one is milk. Leche, the milk that we drink. Most of the milk that we drink, when you go to the market, you will see that on the body of the milk, they draw something like cow, sheep. Yeah, they draw it on the body of the milk. That's to tell you that those milks they are gotten from the cow or the goat, the sheep. Yeah, you can get milk from any of those. Okay, now let's look at the fourth one. To provide raw materials for leather industries, leather and clothing industries. Like these clothes that I'm wearing, you see the way I'm looking beautiful in it. Yeah. Yes. You see my belt, see my leather belt. Yes. I'm wearing these things because we have animals. Now, some people may ask how. Without being confused, I can comfortably tell you that the body of your cow is used for your leather shoes, your leather belts, your leather bags, and so on. Now, most of the clothes that you wear, their raw materials are gotten from animals. There are some clothes that have these hairs. Yeah, most of them, they are gotten from animals. I think we can ask those under textile production, people that make clothes. Yeah. So most of those things they have been gotten from animals. Then the fifth one, to provide means of transporting farmers and products. How? Most of us, we've seen donkeys. We use them to carry things, to carry our farm products, to carry our farmers. Sometimes you see them beside the beach. People snap picture, you take selfie, things like that. Yeah. So you use some animals to transport yourself as a farmer. If you're listening to me, you're a farmer. No matter what you want to be tomorrow, you're a farmer. For now, you're still a great farmer. Right? Yes, you are. Because I know most of you this one told me that my mommy said I should not go to the farm. There is snake. There is no snake in the farm. Farming is interesting. And without farming, you cannot eat. There is no way you can wear your clothes. And there is no way you can do some things that you are doing now. So agriculture is our culture. It's one of the things that make us stand strong as Africans. Even people out there that are not Africans, they're doing much more better than us in agriculture. Yeah. Okay, back to what we're discussing. Now let's look at the requirements, the things needed for for livestock production. The things required, things needed. You know, you cannot start raising animals, you cannot start rearing animals without putting up some things. Why? Because if you say that, it's just like when you say I want to start school. You cannot start school without buying school bag. You cannot be in school without buying books. You cannot be in school without having pencil or pen. You cannot be in school without your school uniform. So there are requirements too needed in livestock production. The number one, housing, which is something that we cannot do without. We can't do without the house. If you say that you're raising animal or you're training animal, obviously you must have a house for them. You cannot buy them and you pour them on the streets. That means you're extensively training them, and anybody has any kind of right at all over them. You see some people, they see dog behind their house, they say, today we're going to kill this dog, right? You see that kind of thing. When they kill the dog, you see the owner will be asking, where is my dog? Where is my dog? Or where did the dog is in people's stomach, in their neighbor's stomach. That's because the dog was not properly kept. But when you build cage, when you arrange a place for the dog to stay, you see that there will be no need for you to always look for your dog, always look for your chicken. There was a time it was trending in my village that any small moment you see some people, they are tiptoeing, looking for chicken that they will kill. Whether it's their own or not, when they see chicken behind this in the backyard, they will go and catch the chicken and kill it. If you like, ask from now till tomorrow. Everybody will say, it's me, oh, it's me, oh, no, it's not me, oh, no. Nobody will talk to you. Why? Because you didn't take proper care of your chicken. You see, after eating, some people will be shouting, oh, my chicken, no, it's nobody's business. So what am I trying to say? First, you must make a house for them where they can relax when you bring them in. Alright, that's the first. Then the second one is food. Even you, as a human being there, Sabina, Majid, Andriana, can you stay a day without eating? No, tell me the truth. No. So when you're training your animal, obviously you need to give them what to eat. You need to provide what they will eat for them. Obviously, you cannot train an animal without getting them what to eat. If not, the next day when you come to their house, you see them like this. They're bending their neck. Why? Because they are hungry. You see, right? So it's very, very important to provide them with food. It's very important to provide them with water. It's very important to provide them with what to eat at every moment. In the morning you provide, in the afternoon you provide, according to how they eat. There are some animals that you may say, the next time I'll give them food is in the afternoon. Before that afternoon, they're already making noise in their food container. Especially chickens. They eat so you have to supply them foods according to their needs. It's not their fault, you are their God. So you constantly provide for them, right? Okay, so apart from food, what else? Care. You cannot buy an animal, keep the animal, and tell the animal, go to hell. If you like, you see this food that I'm giving you, if you finish this food today and you ask me for another food, if you finish this food today, you will see what I will do to you. You just stay here, just sit here. Anytime I come here, that is where you see me. When I don't come, it's your business. Please, if you don't have time, don't rear animal. If you don't have workers, if you don't have people that look after them, don't rear them. Don't try bringing them forth. Don't buy them at all. Because they will definitely take your time. You definitely need to give them time, give them attention, take care of them. Know when they're feeling sick, know when they are healthy, know when their food is remaining, know when their water is finished, things like that. You will sweep their room. Obviously, put light for them. They are more like babies. If you don't take proper care of them, they will die and your money will vanish. Remember, sometimes you may put 50,000, and when you put the 50,000, you cross your leg. Oh, I'm rearing chicken. In the next 3 months, we will start eating the chicken or selling the chicken, and you leave the chickens over there. Before you go there in 2 days, all of them, they will die. And then you see yourself. That's when you now start regretting everything that you did. It's nobody's fault. It's not your village people. They didn't follow you to Malabo. It's you that did it. So that is the reason why when you buy them, you must take care of them. If you're not ready to take care of them, don't buy them. Don't even start anything at all. Don't even start their house. Talk more of buying food for them. So taking care of them is very, 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 very important. You need to clean their house, change their water, wash their food containers, put their lights, check. If you're using lantern, you check their kerosene. If you're using bulb, you check if their bulb is still on. If it's no longer on, you change another one. Like that. Until they come up to stage. Then another one is breeds. Please, this is very important. Before you buy any animal that you want to train, whether goat, cow, chicken, sheep, anyone at all, before you buy the animal, please make sure you check the breed. Make sure you check what the animal is made up of. I remember very well when we were at home with our parents. Sometimes when mommy goes to the market, she will buy chicken, keep them in, stock them. This chicken will eat. They will eat. They will eat from August. They can eat. The money that you will spend on them will be bigger than the money you will spend on the other species, the other breed. But until December, you see them, they are still like this. Very small, dry, no skin, no flesh. They are still like this. One day my mother was like, what kind of breed is this? From August, September, October, November, December, chicken is still kick, no flesh, nothing inside. But I said no, she had to change the breed. Started buying broiler. Now broiler, when you bring a broiler into the house, before you know what is happening, 3 months the broiler is like, when you're pursuing the broiler, it's doing that is because the breed is very okay. Any small touch to catch up. You see, so it's very. So when the breed is not okay, you cannot get what you want. All right. Now the last one, but not the least, is medication. Medication. So it's very important you give medications to your animals. Please, please, please. You need to consult your vet doctor. It's very important you consult your vet doctor. All right. Let them check when they're having any symptom, any sickness at all, any infection, any disease, anything at all that can affect them. Let them check them out and make sure that they're being taken care of. All right, people. I am so excited to teach you this platform. It's really an honor, a great privilege to have you listening to me, to have you study with me. Yeah. And it's quite unfortunate that we are studying from home, but notwithstanding, we will be having more more classes as time goes on. All right. Okay. Thank you very, 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 very much. You know Teacher Queen loves you, right? Ha! Primary 5. I love you all so much, and I really appreciate your time. Okay, see you next time in our next class. Your next class with Teacher Queen. Teacher Queen. I love you all so much. Have a nice day.